Hi everyone, my name is Katie Jones, student athlete at Winnemac, and you're listening to the Winnemac Athletic Podcast.
Welcome to the Winnemac Athletic Podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by Sanders Foods. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it at your hometown grocery store. First Federal Savings Bank. They don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best. Riverside Rentals. Discover canoeing, kayaking, and lazy river tubing right here in Winnemac. Action Plumbing and Heating for all your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Been serving people since 1994. And now, the voice of the Winnemac Athletic Podcast, Justin Ruff.
Hello. Welcome back to the Winnemac Athletic Podcast, episode 22. Today, we have a lot to go over. We do have some guests. We have three student athletes from the Winnemac cheerleading squad joining us today, along with their coach. A great conversation with them. That is who we will be bringing on today. Before that, we will go through some score updates. It's just me blabbing on about the updates, and then, of course, we will have our guest of the day. Let's go ahead and go through our score updates from last week.
Now it's time for your Winnemac Weekly Score Update.
Girls basketball, we'll go ahead and start with them. Last week was kind of a bumpy week for them. They had two games last week. One of them, they traveled to our arch rival at West Central last Tuesday. They fell to them 39-54, and unfortunately, that is the first time we have lost to them in about 10 years. It's been a long time since we've lost to them. West Central, they're having a good year. Right now, they're sitting at 6-4. I watched this game. I also watched the next game that they had against Oregon Davis, and they ran all over them as well. Lots of confidence right now from the West Central Lady Trojans. They're full of hustle, and that really can beat up teams. It did that against Oregon Davis. I do believe it did that against us. They just out-hustled us, which, sometimes, unfortunately, that happens. They are doing good as of right now. They just beat Argus, who we are going to go up against this Friday. But West Central, like I mentioned, defeated us 54-39. In that game, we couldn't get much to fall in. I believe we were 4 from 19 from 3, and they were 7 for 28 from 3, but we also were 14 for 46 from the field. Leading scoring in that game was Marissa Iverson. She had 12 points, 7 rebounds. Sadie Popejoy knocked down three three-pointers, and she had a total of 11 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. KK O'Connor, she had 8 points, 9 rebounds, and Candace Croft, she had 8 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. They hosted Tri-County last Saturday, and just couldn't, a similar thing. They couldn't get things going. We ended up losing to them, 56-51. It was pretty much the same situation. We couldn't get the ball to go in the hoop. We were 7 for 41 in the field and only knocked down 3-point shots. We were 3 for 23. Turned it over more than we wanted to. And Tri-County is a good team. They could shoot the ball really well. They had some pretty good guards. It just wasn't our night, Saturday night, against the Lady Cavaliers. Leading the scoring was Candace Croft. She had 8 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. KK O'Connor had 6 points, 4 rebounds. Shay Lamer, she had 5 points, 2 rebounds. She knocked down a 3-point shot for us. Marissa Iverson, 4 points, 2 rebounds. And Maggie Keller knocked down a 3 as well, giving her total for 3 points. So next up for our Lady Warriors, Friday night is our next game. 2 more games for our Lady Warriors. We have on Friday night and Saturday night. Doubleheader, boys and girls, Friday against Argus. We do have Argus and Brian Jennings coaching that team. With them, last year, we traveled to Argus, and we ended up beating them in a close battle, 57-55. Now, this is a first-time our first time going up against the Lady Dragons when they are in our conference. So a big game here. Conference still up for grabs, looking to try to get that win. Last 20 years we battled against Argus. We are 6-5 against them. So right now, Argus, they are sitting 3-8. They do have a new coach in Brian Jennings, who's coached at Rochester, and he's been at Plymouth for the last couple of years. 3-8 is what they are right now. They have wins against Bethany Christian, Triton, in Jimtown. They have lost to Bremen, CMA, Elkhart Christian, Caston in overtime. They lost to Trinity Greenline in Culver. They also lost to North Judson, and like I mentioned, West Central was a recent game. So we will see if we can get the ball in the hoop a little bit more against Argus on Friday night. And then Saturday, the next day, they host DeMont Christian, who is right now 8-0. We will see if they do play Couts later on this week with DeMont Christian. Last time we battled them, we traveled there and won pretty good, 64-34. The last 20 years, we've only battled them twice. This is our third time, and we are undefeated in the last 20 years. We are 2-0 against the Lady Knights. Good contest for our Lady Warriors, one of them being conference game, which is very important, and then an undefeated DeMont Christian team. So it's going to be interesting to see how we do this week for our Lady Warriors. So good luck to them as they approach this week. Let's move on to boys basketball. They only had one game last week, and that was against the Zebras of Rochester, and we did fall to them 55-44. I'll tell you what, watching this game, we had it going. In the first quarter, we were winning 18-11. And then Rochester, they had a pretty good second quarter, outscoring us 16-7. We entered halftime only losing by 2 points. It was 25-27. It was close throughout the whole game until maybe about the fourth quarter is when Rochester started to go another speed. In the third quarter, we were down by 1, 36-37. And then fourth quarter, like I mentioned, Rochester started to catch on fire. They did have 9 3-pointers, which kind of hurt us, like I mentioned, towards the end of that game. It's tough to get out of the hole when they start to knock down long-range shots on us. Leading the way for our Warriors, Brendan Hines, he had 16 points. He did knock down some key 3-point shots to help us stay in the game. He was 4 for 5 beyond the long range. He had 5 rebounds and 2 assists. Will Malco, he had 15 points, 6 rebounds. Jabin Hines, he had 6 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Ethan Burgess, I thought he had a good game. He had 5 points. He was perfect from the field, 2 for 2, 1 rebound, 1 assist for him. Alex Haig, the senior, stepped in. He had 2 points and a steal. So next up for our boys basketball team, we travel to Knox tonight. Knox is sitting 0-1 of the year. They took on Tippy Valley, who they lost to. Tippy Valley is a good, solid team. That will be at 8 p.m. tonight. It is also on WKVI, which I will be there. With Knox, it's weird because, first of all, they're not in our conference anymore, which is kind of a weird feeling. You know, you always think of Knox Redskins, and you think, oh, this is a good, big time conference game. But unfortunately, they are not in our conference anymore. I'm just happy that they're on our schedule still. I know in football we knocked them out, but they are on our schedule, and we do travel to them. They lost a lot of good seniors last year. But they do have just a really good athlete in Miles McCaughlin. We know him from football, obviously. He's full of hustle. Last year, he averaged about 12 points a game. He is a junior now. He is the returning leading scorer. So we will see what we can do to contain him and the rest of the Redskins. Last year, we hosted them and we lost 45-40. In the last 40 years against Knox, they are beating us 33-30. So we have an opportunity to get a little bit closer in that all-time battle against the Redskins. Friday, we host Argus. Like I mentioned in the doubleheader against Argus boys and girls. It's been a little while since we played Argus. I think it's been 2018, and they weren't really on our schedule. We battled them. Holiday tournament we had going on at the West Central holiday tournament. But so we host the Dragons. They have a new coach. They are sitting 0-2 right now. They lost to Bremen in West Central. I tell you what, West Central, they got themselves a squad right now. They are 3-0, and of course we will talk about them later on in the season, but they are blowing out teams. They have some really good players, younger guys, and of course they have some older guys as well, but I mean, they're a team to watch right now, defeating Argus, and they play tonight as well at LaVille, pretty good LaVille team. Last time we played them, like I mentioned, was back in 2018. We fell to them in the championship match, 46-38. In the last 40 years, we are winning this matchup 9-6. Now that number obviously will increase because they are sitting in our conference right now. So big conference game for our Winamac Warriors. First one of the year. We'll see what we can do against the Dragons Friday night. They lost a pretty good senior in Richards. He was averaging about 23 points a game. But this year, they still have this big boy, 6'5" senior in Luke Stoltz. He's averaging about 15 points a game. And they do have a younger squad. They have about 3 sophomores stepping in who saw some varsity time last year. Mackay Austin, he's a good 3-point shooter. He's a sophomore. 6'2", Zane Helms. He's another good sharpshooter beyond the long range. And then sophomore ball handler Kenyon Belden. He's a good ball handler for them. Again, like I mentioned, 3 sophomores along with the senior big boy Stoltz there. So a lot to handle against Argus, and we will see what we do tonight against Knox and also Friday night against the Argus Dragons. So let's move our attention to wrestling. Girls wrestling, we'll start with them. Just received a text message from our athletic director, Brian Leverins, and he gave me fantastic news about this year's girls wrestling team. It just got approved last night by our school board. We do now have a Winamac girls wrestling team here at Winamac. Like I mentioned, it got approved last night. Mr. Leverins let me know today. Exciting news for this school and this program. They are at it tonight against LaVille. Good luck to them. And we will, of course, have Coach Reams on and a member of the girls wrestling team. Just a fantastic year for them and great news for this school, like I mentioned, in this girls wrestling program. Congratulations to them, and you know, big shout out to everyone that was a part of this. It's big time stuff, and in a new sport, always fun and exciting. So super excited to get the opportunity to spotlight them here soon and talk about that program. Now with boys wrestling, let's go ahead and go with them. I tell you what an exciting weekend it was for Coach Day in the Winamac wrestling squad. They ended up winning the Winamac Super 8 Invitational. I mean, heck, it was freaking awesome watching them do very well in this Winamac Super 8. Their first matchup, I tell you what, they ended up beating Triton 66-12. They then took on our county rivals, West Central, who normally has a pretty good wrestling squad. We defeated them 59-20, and then we defeated Clinton Prairie 71-9. Now, obviously, there was 8 teams in this contest. It was those 3 that I just mentioned: Clinton Prairie, West Central, Triton. They were in our pool, so we ended up winning that pool. And then in the other pool, there was Caston, Delphi, Frontier, and Wheeler. Delphi, we ended up beating them 53-23. Wheeler, we saw as well. We ended up beating them 54-21. Winning the Winamac Super A, which is fantastic. Hasn't been done in a couple years now, communicating with Coach Day. Very good performance. Super excited for them for winning that thing. Undefeated on the day was Franklin Crawford, Ryan Bedwell, Austin Adager, Tierson Wolford, and of course the senior, Talon Garner. 4-1 on the day was Cameron Hilton, Ryan Vollmer, Asher Jones, and Aaron Harden. 3-2 on the day was Hunter Wade, Carlos Cottrell, and then Ryan Shell. Warrior of the meet, I'll tell you what, Coach Day does a great job of sending me everything I need to know. And he was telling me about Ryan Bedwell and what he was expecting of him, his senior, before the season started. And he had himself a day in this Winamac Super 8, upsetting a ranked wrestler from Wheeler. No cupcake there. I mean, he's a big boy, a very athletic kid from Wheeler. He ended up beating them. He showed grit. He showed very intense, close battles in this Winamac Super 8. He is a great leader for these young Warriors. Super excited that Ryan Bedwell is having a very good senior year starting off. And the Warriors are now currently 6-1. And that one loss was against Rochester, which easily could have been won. So they're, starting off pretty good this year. And like I mentioned earlier in the last episode, Coach Day does a fantastic job in his coaching staff, and his wrestlers are very disciplined, making sure that every class is filled with a Winamac Warrior. That really helps us win events like this. It helps us win conference and get us even closer in sectional. So fantastic to see all that happen, invitationals and stuff like this. And of course, our squad, they do take on LaVille tonight. That will be at 6 p.m. RTC TV will be there, so make sure you tune in there if you can't make it. Then Saturday, the JV squad, they will travel to Plymouth. That is at 9 a.m. And then the varsity squad, they will go to John Glenn for the John Glenn Invite Dinner. Great competition. That will start at 9 a.m. So good luck to Coach Day and the Winamac Warriors wrestling team for a big week this week for them. And that's it. Enough of my voice. I know you're tired of it. Let's go ahead to the more friendly voices, and that is the head coach of the Winamac Cheer Squad, Coach Lynn Garmison, and 3 Winamac cheerleaders. A great convo with them, and we will be right back. Hey, you're doing it. You're listening to the Winamac Athletic Podcast.
Hi, everyone. It's Ronnie Garberson, student athlete at Winamac, and you're listening to the Winamac Athletic Podcast.
Welcome back to the Winamac Athletic Podcast. Today, super excited for the first time ever to have 3 student athletes join me at one time. Right now we have Katie Jones, Carly Jones, and Ronnie Garberson. How's it going, ladies?
Good.
Please hold your excitement in. All right. I know you're super excited right now. Just contain it for a little bit. All right. You have a very busy week this week. The little cheer night is coming up. It is Friday, December 13th. I just realized Friday is 13th. That's a little bit creepy, but that's fine. That's all right. Right now we're starting. We're gonna interview just a few questions, a little bit different than normal. I won't do all the questions, just a little bit. And right now she lost the big battle of rock paper scissors, right? And it's Katie Jones right now. How's it going, Katie?
Good. How are you?
I am fantastic. You are a junior now, right? So
Yes.
Would you please share with us real quick all the sports and activities you're currently involved in?
I am involved in cheer, and I managed cross country this year, and I'm planning on managing track as well.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so out of the sport you're in cheerleading, and then the 2 that you manage, all right, help out. What's your favorite thing to do? What's your favorite sport there?
Definitely cheer.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Awesome to hear. That's good. What age did you get into cheerleading, and who introduced you to that?
I started my freshman year as a mascot, and my sister kind of got me into it a little bit, so I started cheerleading my sophomore year.
Oh, you were a mascot, like a legit mascot?
Kind of. It was just a mohawk situation, but
Okay. I like it. Creative. Cool. Well, that's awesome. So your sister got you in it.
yes.
Awesome.
And Ronnie, of course.
and Ronnie, of course. You're not just saying that because she's sitting right next to you, right? That's all right.
No, of course
That's
not.
all right. All right, let's hit you with a question. Like I mentioned, I mean, little cheer night just around the corner, and you're going in it. You're going through it right now, Jones. What do you cherish the most about these little cheer night events?
I enjoy seeing the little girls look up to all of us.
Mm, mm.
This is all one of their favorite moments of the year, and we all enjoy seeing it.
I totally agree. I mean, it's a special moment, right? I mean, I'm sure you remember it when you were little, right? Just going
Yeah.
through that, and especially the older high school like yourself. I mean, I know my little girls look up to you guys, so that's awesome. It's a cool moment to see, and that's cool. That's one of your favorite moments as well. All right, let's see with the hard one. Unknown fact about Jones number 2 that not a lot of people know. What do you got? Kidding.
I am allergic to shellfish, which is like crab and shrimp and stuff.
Oh my! Is there any kind of is this all seafood or just those yucky things?
I can eat fish, regular fish and stuff, but just
Okay.
shellfish.
What happens, Jones? Does your face blow up or what happens there?
I mean, I've only had a few serious reactions, but it does get pretty bad.
Okay, so you stay away from the. I mean, I personally hate seafood, so that would be easy for me. Do you actually like it?
I mean, I've
Just
never
didn't have
tried most
to
of
enjoy
it, but I don't imagine myself enjoying it.
Okay. Oh well, that makes sense. Awesome. Well, hey, Joan, thanks a lot. Thanks for jumping on. Go ahead and pass the mic to whoever's next. I don't know who got second to last in the rock, paper, scissors battle, or who is it, Garberson?
Yeah.
All right, Lonnie, what's up? You're a junior as well. What sports and activities are you involved in high school?
I only do cheer.
You only do cheer.
Yes.
You don't do anything else.
No, very dedicated.
Well, look at you. So it would be kind of a waste of time of me asking what your favorite sport is then, right? Would that be a waste
Gotta
of
be
time?
cheer.
Okay.
Gotta be cheer.
Now, that's pretty cool. Who got you in cheerleading? What age did you start doing it?
I started doing cheer in 7th grade. I was going to do it 6th grade, but they didn't have it in 6th grade. But I would probably say my really good friend, Kenzie Wheeler. I always looked up to her as a cheerleader.
Okay. Yeah, she graduated a couple years ago, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I know I was trying to get the right Wheeler right. Yep. Well, that's cool.
I think it was 3 years ago.
Okay. So she got into it, huh?
Yes.
Pretty cool. Pretty awesome stuff. All right, let's go into the questions, Garberson. What is your favorite cheer night memory? This is a good one. Now, it can be, you were involved as a little as well, right? Participating in little cheer nights, right?
Yes.
So it can even go back all the way down. What's your favorite
I think
little
I got
cheer
a good
night memory?
one.
Okay.
My sophomore year, I was taking the PSATs and I scratched my eye, like my cornea, and I had to wear an eye patch during the little cheer performance.
Oh, no.
Yeah, my little cheerleaders called me a pirate, and they were jealous that they didn't get to have one.
Well, I mean, as they should be, because that seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, I would want to be a pirate. It wasn't like a Pirates of the Caribbean theme or anything, right? Because that was pretty cool if it was.
That was the year's Barbie.
Oh, okay, so that makes no sense. Okay. Well, well, yeah, that's cool. That's a fun little memory there. All right, hey, one unknown fact about Donaldson that not a lot of people know. With that eye, do you have to get your eye replaced with a glass eye or no?
No.
Okay. All right.
That
would have been a good unknown fact.
I'd probably say I never go anywhere alone. I'm always with somebody else.
You're always with someone. We saw you at the movie theater the other night. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're always with someone. Okay. You think a lot of people know that, or you just?
No, they probably just think that I'm you
have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Thanks a lot, Garberson. That was awesome. Let's move it on to the last one, and that would be Jones number 1. And Carly, how's it going, Jones?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Another junior. All right. What are you involved in sports here?
I only do cheer this year.
You're an only cheer one too, huh?
Yeah.
Have you done anything before in the past?
I used to do basketball and track.
Okay, but you put up the white flag, huh? No more of that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right. That's awesome. Cool. What got you into cheerleading, Jones, and what age? Who got you into cheerleading, and what age did you get into it?
Halfway through my 8th grade year, when basketball season started, Ronnie convinced me and me and Avery Wagner to do it together, so we joined.
Ah, she got Wagner involved too, huh?
Yeah.
That's cool. And that's when you realize I'm not that good in basketball. Oh, that what happened there?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Cool. So, all right, this third question, I mean, you kind of got through it here a little bit, Joe. This one I thought like was a little bit harder than the other ones. You participated in a little cheer, right, when you were little, and so that and now as a cheerleader, Joe, the high school cheerleader, what have you learned out of all of that, going all the way when you were little, and now being an older cheerleader? What have you learned about this whole process?
I've learned like how cool it is to go from being young and looking up to the big cheerleaders, and now how cool it feels to see them look up to you, and
Yeah,
everything you're able to teach them about cheer.
that's pretty cool. I mean, it is a cool feeling. You know,
Yeah.
it also makes you realize that life is super fast. Slow down.
Yeah, I miss being a little cheerleader.
Yeah, me too. I mean, no. I mean, no. I miss being little. I don't.
No.
Boy, I will edit that one out. Let's move on to the last question. Unknown fact about Jones. What do you got?
I'd probably say a lot of people think that most cheerleaders can do cartwheels and stuff, but I cannot do anything near a cartwheel, and I don't think I ever will be able to.
You can't do it.
Nope.
Oh boy, not even like. Can you do like a somersault? What's it called? The little.
Barely.
Barely. Okay, that's not good. Well, that's all right. Heck, that's cool. I mean, that's still. I mean, that's a good little unknown fact. There you go.
Yeah.
Usually people get freaked up by those, but I kind of gave you guys a little heads up. Hey, this question's coming. So that's probably why. I mean, you're probably sitting there the whole time thinking hard about what that was going to be, right, Joan?
I just love it.
Well, awesome. Hey, thanks a lot, ladies. Fantastic stuff. I can't wait to see you out on the court. Little cheer night, participating with the littles. Always awesome and fun to see. Thank you so much for doing that. And we will be right back after a brief word. Hey, you're doing it. You're listening to the Winamac Athletic Podcast.
Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm Carly Jones, Winamac athlete at WCHS, and you're listening to the Winamac Athletic Podcast.
Welcome back to the Winamac Athletic Podcast. Today, super thrilled once again to have the head coach of the Winamac cheerleading squad, Coach Lynn Garbison. How's it going, Coach? How you doing today?
I'm doing great, Dustin. How are you?
I am fantastic. We've had you on, Coach, a couple of times this year. I know we've talked about your background, your past a little bit, so we won't be doing that. But last time we had you on, Coach, I believe we talked about little cheer week, little cheer night in the fall. And now here we are talking about the winter, but we didn't really have you on after the little cheer night in the fall. If you can, I mean, if you want to talk about that a little bit and how it all went. I know Mr. Leverin, he kind of did a recap of everything after that night. It was a fantastic turnout. Lots of girls in yellow, lots of littles in yellow. It was fantastic to see whoever had that idea with the minions to get a raise. I mean, it was a beautiful idea. And your cheerleaders, high schoolers, middle schoolers, they were dressed up as minions. Awesome. It was an awesome performance. And if you can't, Coach, let's talk about your fall season as well as we're entering the fall winter.
So football little cheer night was amazing. We had a record number of 137 girls hit the floor, boys and girls hit the field. The minion theme actually came from Sadie Jones. She came up with that. The girls kind of threw around the new group song. So once they had picked that song, she just ran with the t-shirts and the yellow and then getting all the girls in the headgear, which actually ended up getting the high school cheerleaders a bulletin board here in Winnemac. So pretty exciting to see up on the board.
That's awesome.
Be cute. Yeah, they were really excited to see their faces up there. But yeah, it was a great night. The weather was perfect. It was actually October 13th, so it was a Friday night, Friday the 13th.
Was that? Oh my goodness.
It was. So it beat me. The head coaches around here like to tease me about the curse of the little cheer night. I don't believe in that. So, why not have both little cheer nights on Friday the 13th? Just to prove to them that there is no curse against little cheers.
Look at you. That's good.
Yeah, so the squad is doing great. We actually brought on 2 new cheerleaders to the varsity squad. Alexa Doolin is joining us, and Jordan Hansel. So we're really excited to have them come aboard. They've cheered before throughout their middle school career, and Jordan was a cheerleader her freshman year. So we're excited to have them back with us to help build our little stronger. We're excited to kick off basketball season. It's our favorite. Indoor, we don't get rained on. We're not cold. We love it. We're really excited to be in that gym. So it's off to a great start.
Well, that's good. That's good. And that's kind of lead up to my next question. I mean, heck, you're the only sport that has pretty much 2 seasons in one.
Yes.
And they're back to back. But what I want to know, Coach, what is the difference between the two? Obviously one is inside, one is outside. You're doing different cheers because obviously they're different sports. But how do you approach that transition? Do you start into the basketball season like completely brand new stuff, or how does that work?
It is new stuff. We have cheers that we bring from football over. We'll just change up some words to, seal the court or change the score points to what we need. During basketball season, we're a lot busier. We do the starting lineup. In basketball, we do it as well, but we're more, involved in basketball season. We have the sideline cheers. The girls are out on the floor for the end of the second quarter, and then the third quarter we do go out and do cheers with stunting. So basketball season is kind of our favorite because it lets the girls do the stunts that they've been working on all season, and it gives them a chance to kind of be right there in front of the crowd. Where football, on the track is not as fun, and the weather sometimes doesn't cooperate for the girls to be in the right gear to be stunting to make it safe.
Right.
So basketball season definitely is a little busier. Football season gives us 1 game on Friday night. Basketball season, we cheer for all girl home games that are conference, and we cheer for all the boys games conference, away and home. So we are very busy. So there's some weeks we'll have 2-3 games. Some weeks we might have more. So we're just, it's busy. Basketball season is very busy for the girls.
That's awesome. Awesome to hear. And not only, Coach, do you do those games, you also have 2 little cheer nights that, of course, are very busy. One in the fall, one in the winter, and you have one this week, Coach. And not only do you just you just have the little for one day. It's a full week thing, right? So
yes, we have the Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday after school until 5. And then we do the performance Friday night. And this Friday, actually, it will be in between the girls' game and the boys' game because it's a girl-boy night at home. So we're pretty excited to, cheer for both the boys and girls at the same time. Plus, bring in the crowd to get the girls and the boys pumped up for a win, hopefully on the Warrior side. And definitely bring in all those littles in. So we're pretty excited to get that kicked off.
That's awesome. That's what I was going to ask you. I didn't know that it was between games. That was my guess.
Yeah, in between games is when it will be. So.
Yep, and like you mentioned, that would be Friday the 13th against Argus. Pretty awesome. I know we mentioned what the theme was in the fall. That was Minions. Yeah. Can you give us what the theme is for this week?
Well, this theme, I'm just going to tell you, we're trading in our cheer bows for some bandanas.
Okay.
So we're pretty excited. The girls have changed up the music a little bit than normal what we've ever done before. So the dance is super cute. Kay Jones, Audrey Stanley, Carly Jones, Maddie Goodman.
Avery Wagner, they all work together to come up with the dance. So we're really excited to see the littles do it. It'll be super cute. So we're super pumped. The girls love this, even though it's a lot of work. They are going to go one night, I think, or maybe 2 nights a week. They're going to leave Little Cheer and go to a game to cheer. So it's a lot for them, but Sarah's super excited as well as I am.
That's awesome. And, again, like I mentioned, to see them out there with with all the littles, it's awesome to see, get them engaged. And like I said, and like, what she said, I mean, just seeing those littles looking up to the high schoolers, I mean, that's it's awesome to see. So,
yeah, that's what I always tell them, that, those little girls are looking up to you, and you inspire them to become you next. So
I love it. Well, that's awesome, Coach. Well, heck, the mic yours for a little bit. Do you have any last words or comments before we take off?
No, I don't. Just, I hope all the Warrior fans get out there and support our winter athletes and wrestling all the way to the basketball. New program for the girls for the wrestling, so that's exciting. Come out and watch cheerleaders hit the floor. Definitely come out on the 13th and see those little kids. Even if you don't have a little, it's well worth coming in to see. And plus, you'll get some more of your basketball action going on. But thank you, Justin, for always supporting the cheer program here at WCHS. We greatly appreciate you.
Hey, that's no problem at all. I absolutely love it. And thanks a lot, Coach, for jumping on. That was the head coach of the Winamac Cheerleading Squad, Coach Lynn Garbison. We will be right back after a brief word. Hey, you're doing it. You're listening to the Winamac Athletic Podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Winamac Athletic Podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by Sanders Foods. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it at your hometown grocery store. First Federal Savings Bank. They don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best. Riverside Rentals. Discover canoeing, kayaking, and lazy river tubing right here in Winamac. Action Plumbing and Heating. For all your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Been serving people since 1994. We would like to thank our sponsors for sponsoring today's show and being part of the Winamac Athletic Podcast.